What's up, World Cup fans? We are talking World Cup draw today. Now that it's complete, what are some of the storylines? What are some of the rematches? What is some of the history? We're going 50 interesting facts to come from World Cup draw 2022. You won't want to miss this. Let's start off with the fact that not all 32 teams were known at the time of the draw. There are still 3 berths available. Wales will play the winner of Scotland and Ukraine. Peru will play the winner of Australia and United Arab Emirates. And Costa Rica will play Oceania champions New Zealand. There are 2 nearly identical groups from Russia 2018 reassembled for Qatar. Group G includes Brazil, Serbia, and Switzerland. Newcomers, Cameroon, round out the group. Group in Russia included France, Denmark, Australia, and Peru. Group D in Qatar includes France, Denmark, Australia, or Peru, unless the United Arab Emirates can pull off back-to-back upsets and take that 3rd spot. Tunisia is the 4th team in the group. There is only one team making their debut, and that is the hosts, Qatar. Group A, which includes the hosts, reminds me of Group A in 2010, South Africa. A lot of similarities between these 2 groups. A lower-ranked host country drawn 3 difficult opponents from different regions. Arguably, the best team from each pot was drawn in with Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands, while the same thing happened in 2010 when South Africa drew Uruguay, France, and Mexico. No favors for the host nations on either tournament. Let's take a look at some mouth-watering rematches from World Cups previous. Let's start with Ghana-Uruguay. This is a rematch from the quarterfinal of 2010, perhaps the greatest match from South Africa. The quarterfinal where Luis Suarez handled the ball off the line to be red-carded, only to have Asamoah Gyan hammer it off the crossbar, and then Uruguay succeed in penalty kicks to end Africa's hopes of winning a World Cup on home soil. Argentina-Mexico. Argentina eliminated Mexico back-to-back at the round of 16 World Cups in 2006 and 2010. In 2006, a phenomenal game winner by Maxi Rodriguez in extra time. In 2010, a controversial offside goal opened up the scoring in a 3-1 victory. Korea-Uruguay, a fantastic game winner by Luis Suarez in the pouring rain in Port Elizabeth in South Africa in the round of 16. South Korea, Portugal have drawn each other. The last time they met at a World Cup, Korea shocked the Portuguese, winning 1-0. That result knocked out the Portuguese and made way for the United States to progress. Canada returns to the World Cup after a 36-year absence. It is the longest of any of the qualified teams. They opened up against Belgium and then Croatia, dating back to 1986. They had played France, Hungary, and Russia, meaning they had only played European opponents up until their final group stage match against the Africans, Morocco. Poland has begun the last 3 World Cups, opening with 2 losses in 2002, losing to Korea and Portugal, and then in 2006, losing to Ecuador and Germany, and then most recently in 2018, losing to Senegal and Colombia. Will they have a better start in 2022 and give their fans some much-deserved joy when they face Mexico in their first match or Saudi Arabia in their second match? Let me know in the comments below what you think. The most common matchup, Brazil versus Serbia, has happened 5 times previously. This will be their 6th time meeting in a World Cup. The Serbia national football team inherited Yugoslavia's spot within FIFA and UEFA, and is considered by both organizations as the only successor of Yugoslavia. This will be the 5th time that Germany has faced Spain in a World Cup. Denmark has qualified for the World Cup 6 times. 4th time they've been drawn with France. France and Denmark cannot escape each other at the World Cup. A Nigeria-Argentina matchup had become a bit of a tradition at the World Cup. Nigeria, having qualified for 6 World Cups, had amazingly drawn Argentina 5 of those times. This will be the first World Cup since 2006 that we won't see Argentina face Nigeria. The Super Eagles were eliminated at the final hurdle. This will mark the first time an opening match is played between Asia and South America when Qatar takes on Ecuador. Since modern inter-regional seeding of Pot 1 was introduced at the 1978 World Cup, Germany has been in Pot 1 every single draw. 2022 marked the first time that Germany was in Pot 2. England has drawn the United States of America for the 3rd time. Perhaps the biggest upset in World Cup history was in 1950 when the United States defeated England 1-0 in Brazil. When that information was sent back home, the newspapers actually printed 10-1 as they thought the 1-0 was a misprint. When England fans picked up the paper in the morning, they thought they had had a massive landslide victory over the United States. Is that your biggest upset in World Cup history? Comment below, I want to know. The only previous World Cup winners to meet in this group stage will be Germany versus Spain. All previous World Cup winners qualified for the World Cup, with the exception of the Azzurri. The Italians missed their 2nd World Cup running. Ghana enters Qatar as the lowest ranked team in the tournament at 60th, unless of course New Zealand qualifies, who are currently ranked 101st. Brazil, of course, are the number 1 ranked team in the world. Only one team has appeared in every single World Cup, and that of course is the Brazilians. It's their 22nd appearance in the 22nd World Cup in the year 2022. Europe is the only confederation that will have more than one team in a group. You will see this 5 times, while only 3 groups have a single European team. The World Cup increased from 24 to 32 participants in 1998. This will be the 7th and final edition with that number. It will increase to 48 in 2026, which is absolutely ridiculous. I will break that down in a future episode. Please subscribe to my channel. Group A is the only group where no one has played each other ever before at the World Cup. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. While some of them have faced each other outside the World Cup, this will be the first time meeting at the World Cup. The most experienced group is G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, combined for 51 previous World Cup appearances. Although listed as match 1 and considered the opening game of the tournament, when Qatar faces Ecuador, they will actually be the 3rd game to be played. Senegal, Netherlands will be the first to kick a ball at 1 p.m. on November 21st. England plays Iran at 4 p.m. and then the hosts face Ecuador at 7 p.m. that day. Canada scored the most goals in qualifying at 54. Of qualified teams, Switzerland and Tunisia tied for the least goals allowed, conceding twice each. No Pot 1 or Pot 2 teams will play each other in their opening games. All Pot 2 went into slots 3 and 4. The Germans were the very first team to qualify for the World Cup, with the exception of Qatar. The 29th team and most recent, the last team, was Mexico on March 30th. Germany leads all European teams. It will be their 20th World Cup. Mexico leads all CONCACAF teams. It is their 17th World Cup. Cameroon has appeared to more World Cups than any African teams. It will be their 8th appearance. And South Korea leads all Asian teams. It will be their 11th. 2022 will see the end of another streak. Ghana, USA have played every single time that Ghana has qualified for the World Cup. The only way these 2 teams can meet in 2022 is if they make it to the semifinal or to the final itself. Not likely. The biggest matchup off the pitch could be political rivals, Iran and United States of America. They had last drawn each other back in 1998 and caught the world's attention in a 2-1 victory for Iran. Teams that have never played each other before, not even including the World Cup. Qatar has never ever faced Senegal. Qatar has never played the Netherlands. Senegal versus Netherlands will be the first time those 2 teams have played each other. England has never faced Iran. It'll be the first time Canada ever plays Croatia. And Cameroon versus Switzerland will be the first time those two teams have ever played. The most recent matchup of this group stage was when Uruguay played against Portugal in Sochi in the round of 16 in 2018. Uruguay won 2-1. The earliest ever matchup from the teams that are going to face each other at this group stage, Brazil played Yugoslavia, which is now known as Serbia, in the second day ever, way back on July 14th in 1930. Yugoslavia won that game 2-1, which means Brazil lost their first ever World Cup match. If all the favorites finish first in their groups and win their round of 16 matches, this is what we can look forward to in the quarterfinals. Netherlands versus Argentina, Germany or Spain versus Brazil, England versus France, Belgium versus Portugal. Now, there's going to be upsets, so there's no guarantees with any of these quarterfinals. Is there such thing as a champion's curse? The last three winners, Italy, Spain, Germany, did not make it out of the group stage the following World Cup. What will happen to France? Will Denmark, Tunisia, Peru, Australia, or UAE be able to stop the French from advancing to the round of 16? There you have it, 50 interesting facts that I could take away from the draw. What did I miss? What was your favorite? I want to hear from you. Put in the comments below, and please make sure to like and subscribe. There is way more videos to come for you. Talking World Cup, Lee Cormish. See you again.